Rintaro is a loser who everyone avoids because of his intimidating aura. However, everything changes when he befriends Karuko, a sweet girl from his rival school who shows him that he can live a normal life. On the day they first met, it was just another ordinary day for the two schools, Kikyo and Chidori, who despise each other. From Chidori, Rintaro looks out the window at Kikyo, the neighboring all-girls school, and he's already accepted the idea that he'll never understand what's happening over there. The Kikyo students always avoid the Chidori boys like they're nothing but trouble. One morning, Rintaro's friends Saku, Sohei and Ayato argue with two guys from another school. Everyone wants to avoid fighting, but they blame each other for starting it. Just then, Rintaro shows up, and with just one look he sends the two guys running away in fear. He lightly scolds his friends, but Saku flips it, saying it was Rintaro's scary face that started the fight in the first place, and that the thugs were actually looking for him before running off. As they head to school, Rintaro recalls how one of the guys had once seen him during an argument near his home. A girl had slapped her boyfriend in the street, and when Rintaro stepped in to check on the guy, the poor boy got scared and ran away. His friends aren't surprised. They know that while Rintaro means well, his terrifying face always makes people assume the worst about him. Just then, they walk past two Kikyo girls and one of them drops her handkerchief. Rintaro picks it up and tries to return it, but the girl looks at him like he's dangerous and tells him to just throw it away. Despite the harsh reaction, Saku jokes that maybe she was just too shy to talk to someone like him. When they enter their school building, Rintaro reflects on how different Chidori is compared to Kikyo. The Kikyo girls dislike the Chidori boys so much that they even keep their curtains closed to avoid seeing their building. Later that day, Rintaro turns down his friend's invitation to karaoke and heads to his family cafe where he works as a baker. As the rain pours, he rushes to get there. When he arrives, he asks his mom, Kyoko, if it's okay for him to handle customers, worried that his looks might scare them. Kyoko reassures him, saying there's only one customer anyway. While everyone is busy preparing cakes for an event, Rintaro sets up the counter and notices an umbrella near the entrance. Looking up, he sees a cute petite girl sitting at a table surrounded by empty plates. She notices him starring and blushes in embarrassment, then suddenly starts choking. Rintaro rushes over with a glass of water. She drinks it, thanks him for the cakes, and quickly runs out of the cafe. That evening, while closing up, Kyoko casually mentions that the girl's name is Karuko and that she's actually a regular customer. Rintaro feels bad, thinking he scared her away, but Kyoko brushes off his worries, saying Karuko isn't the type to be easily frightened and jokes that their delicious cakes can win anyone over. The next day, Rintaro is still bothered by what happened. During lunch, he zones out thinking about how to apologize or meet her again, but when his friends ask what's wrong, he brushes it off. Later at home, Kyoko bursts into his room, saying Karuko is at the cafe and wants to see him. Rintaro hurries to meet her, and to his surprise, Karuko offers to treat him. He ends up with a slice of cake in front of him while Karuko apologizes for leaving so suddenly the other day. When he notices her glancing at the food, he gently slides the plate toward her. At first, she hesitates, but then she happily eats it. Karuko then explains that the day before she thought she was alone and safe to eat freely, but when she noticed him watching, she became embarrassed. She admits she had seen him there before and had always been curious about him. That's when Rintaro realizes the truth. She wasn't scared of him at all. She was just flustered and nervous. Finally, Karuko confesses that whenever she sees him, her heart races. Rintaro is confused. Unlike everyone else who flinches at his presence, Karuko was different. Her sincerity touched him, and for the first time he felt something warm inside. Nervous, Rintaro offers to walk her to the station, but she buys another dessert and insists on going alone. As she leaves, she turns back and tells him she never thought he was scary. Her words leave him stunned. Outside, two punks are secretly stalking them. Later in his room, Rintaro hides away, reflecting, unlike everyone who speaks ill of him, Karuko was different and he doesn't know how to feel. Suddenly, Kyoko barges in with food Karuko had dropped outside. Realizing what happened, Rintaro rushes out, worried for her. In a dark alley, he finds the two goons cornering Karuko, threatening her. They mock Rintaro, calling him a thug, saying Chidori is full of people like him. Rintaro listens silently until Karuko pushes back. She admits the rumors sound awful but insists that if they actually spoke to Rintaro, they'd see his good side. The punks get annoyed. One grabs her, raising his fist only for Rintaro to step in, block the strike, and scare them off with his sheer presence. Karuko tends to his wounded head, but he assures her it's from hitting a wall, not from their attack. He bows, apologizing for dragging her into trouble. But Karuko gently wipes the blood away and tells him something he's never heard in his life. She doesn't understand why people fear someone with such a beautiful soul. She rejects his apology and thanks him instead. For the first time, something inside Rintaro sees a new world, one where he isn't judged by his looks. He walks her to the station, and before parting ways, she invites him to hang out and eat dessert sometime. He agrees. The next day, Rintaro arrives at school early, still thinking about Karuko. Looking out the window, he sees her, a Kikyo student. Their eyes meet for a moment before he quickly closes the curtain, shocked. She wasn't just any girl, she was from Kikyo, the sworn enemy of Chidori. Rintaro curses fate. Why would it send him such a lovely goddess, only to ruin it by making her from Kikyo? Lost in thought, Sho barges in, complaining about how terrible the Kikyo girls treated him that morning. He jokes about wanting to go full Andrew Tate on them, saying he had no choice but to join Chidori. But Saku and Ayato remind him he's only there because he's dumber than a brick. They start talking trash about Kikyo girls, with Saku expressing his hatred, saying the schools will never get along. Meanwhile, Rintaro zones out again. His friends notice his head injury, but he ignores them. Ayato asks why the classroom curtain was closed since it's unusual. Sho suggests it because Rintaro hates Kikyo girls so much he refuses to even see them, but Rintaro snaps, denying it instantly, making things awkward. To calm them, he lies, saying he just doesn't like the sun in his face. Still, Saku finds it strange. Later in class, Rintaro struggles to focus, replaying Karuko's reaction when she saw him earlier. He worries he embarrassed her and that she'll stop visiting the cafe. Maybe that's for the best, since their schools can never be together. After school, Sho invites him to karaoke. Since his mom hasn't asked for help, Rintaro agrees. They leave, excited, joking about singing Jake Paul's best songs, but at the school gate, a crowd has gathered. Curious, they look closer. Karuko is standing there alone, waiting for someone from Chidori. Rintaro turns away, shocked. Out of spite, Sho confronts her, mocking her for being a stuck-up Kikyo girl. Nervously, Karuko says she's waiting for someone. Sho grows aggressive, but before he can act, Rintaro pulls him back effortlessly, scolding him for intimidating her, then apologizing to Karuko. Sho realizes that if Karuko is waiting for someone at Chidori, it means a student here is friends with a Kikyo girl. Instead of freaking out, he breaks down, crying that he's jealous someone from their trash school has a girlfriend. Suddenly, Karuko's friends rush over, shove the boys aside, and drag her away. More Kikyo girls gather, gossiping that Karuko will catch a disease from being near Chidori boys. Sho, feeling insulted, demands an apology after being shoved. One girl slaps his hand away coldly and leaves with Karuko. As she's pulled away, Karuko looks back at Rintaro, worried. On the way to karaoke, the boys rant about the filthy Kikyo girls while Rintaro lags behind, calming himself after what just happened. Deep down, he believes Karuko was waiting for him. He tries to deny it but can't stop thinking about her. His friends notice his expression and are shocked. They've never seen him look like that before. But Rintaro knows the truth. What he's feeling is happiness. Still, he convinces himself they should stop meeting. At karaoke, Sho sings loudly, enjoying himself. Meanwhile, Rintaro scrolls through the song list, ready to pick a Taylor Swift track, when Saku suddenly calls him out for acting strange lately. Saku and the homies ask Rintaro to confide in them if anything is troubling him. And while Rintaro wants to reveal how he met a goddess in the form of Karuko, he remembers how they hate Kikyo girls. So he holds back and tells them that he's okay. The others believe what he tells them, and Rintaro apologizes to Saku for worrying him, but Saku is still suspicious. Later, Rintaro sees the cafe still open after closing hours. He tries telling his mom about the door not being locked, but there he spots Karuko happy for his arrival. She apologizes for creating trouble at his school gate, saying that she doesn't truly realize the brewing hatred between the two academies. But Rintaro tells her that he didn't mind it and asks her to raise her head. From out of nowhere, Kyoko pops up with some cakes and helps her son out, assisting him with a girl like Karuko by asking her to eat some. She tries rejecting, but her stomach starts grumbling, making Rintaro and his mother laugh. Rintaro then asks Karuko to eat the food with him and they sit down together. While Karuko is happily eating, Rintaro notices just how precious she is. She then apologizes for Shu getting shoved, but Rintaro tells her that he's fine. When Rintaro asks what she was doing earlier, Karuko admits that she wanted to see him again. Rintaro blushes, realizing it was him she was waiting for. She apologizes once more, but Rintaro, while panicking, assures her it's fine and that he was happy when he saw her there. He quickly blushes at what he told her and tries to take it back, but Karuko begs him not to, glad to know he was happy to see her. Both of them get flustered, and Rintaro diffuses the situation by reminding her to eat. Then he expresses how he didn't expect her to return to the cafe. And when she asks why, he tells her it's because of their schools hatting each other, like fat dudes hatting salads, and that it's not good for a Kikyo girl like her to associate with a Chidori student like him. However, to his shock, Karuko reveals that she was actually glad when she found out Rintaro goes to Chidori. She quickly leaves after saying this, but before going, she promises that she is speaking the truth, that it made her very happy to learn that they are literally school neighbors. At that moment, As Karuko steps out, Rintaro sees her face and realizes he just hurt her by not sharing the same happiness. Kyoko appears to check on them and sees Karuko already gone. But when she looks at her son, she notices he's in pain and panics. After that, Rintaro tells his mother what occurred and she flicks his head, scolding herself for failing to teach her son about women. Rintaro asks why Karuko would even come to see him, even though she is a Kikyo student, and his question hurts Kyoko. She calls it nonsense and points out that the way he is treating Karuko, just because of where she goes to school, is the same way people treated him just because of how he looks. That realization hits Rintaro hard. She then asks him whether Karuko ever treated him differently when she found out he's a terrifying dude from Chidori. Rintaro realizes just how horrible he has been. Suddenly, he punches himself, making himself bleed, and Kyoko gets worried. But Rintaro looks to his mother and thanks her for the talk. The next morning, Karuko arrives at school and to her shock, Rintaro is there waiting for her at the gates. She asks why he's there and he tells her that he came early just to see her. He apologizes for hurting her and Karuko blushes, realizing that Rintaro saw the sad face she made. She admits that while she felt hurt, it was also her selfish feelings, and she says how kind Rintaro was to look for her. After Karuko has always been honest with him, Rintaro wants to do the same. He admits that whenever guys from Chidori talk bad about her, he despises it, and he's scared that being with him might get her in trouble. But he wants to retract those feelings and apologizes to Karuko for only seeing her as a Kikyo student, not for who she really is. He expresses how happy he feels that she wants to see him, and in that moment Karuko smiles. She quickly gets up in high spirits and says that despite the bad blood, she wants to get to know him for who he truly is. It leaves Rintaro in awe and he ends up getting her number. Then, because his classroom is empty, Karuko asks him to do something beforehand. And when he is in his classroom, he follows what she asked and looks at her from the window across, and she jumps ecstatically knowing that he's right there watching her. Days later, Rintaro and Shui are in class, complaining about how hot it is and wishing they could go to a hotel, blast the air conditioner, and sleep together like true homies. Shui says he wants to die of boredom, but when he remembers the sports festival is approaching, he tells Rintaro how much he wants to compete and win. However, to their agony, their teacher informs them they are not allowed to compete. When they ask why, the teacher tells them that whoever failed their exams has to take makeup exams instead of competing. Shui pleads with the teacher to cut them some slack, and the teacher agrees to treat them to ice cream if they manage to pass and win during the sports festival. Back in class, Shu panics, realizing that his smooth brain can't think properly, and he begs Sokka to teach them since he's the smartest. But Sokka refuses, remembering how they all failed last year despite his help. Despite this, Ayato checks in on Rintaro's condition, and just like Shu, he feels like he's already failed. He asks Ayato to teach him, but Ayato tells Rintaro that he's just as stupid as he is. Suddenly, Shui states that they don't need Sokka's help and will study themselves, and Sokka challenges them to pass the test without him. Just then, Rintaro gets a text message from Kyoko, telling him their store is having a sale and that he should invite Karuko. Rintaro realizes that Karuko hasn't been visiting the cafe lately and suspects she may be out of money. During class, he nervously writes an invitation to Karuko. After thinking hard about it, he manages to send her a message. He waits for her reply, but after school ends, there's still no answer. Suddenly, she texts him saying she can't come because she's been busy, and he doesn't understand why that makes him feel disappointed. Just then, Shu invites him to the public library to study. They quickly hit the books, studying harder than before, but after an hour, Shu's brain is fried. With no hope, Rintaro suggests Shu should apologize to Saku, who taught them the year before. Shu admits he felt horrible for failing and wasting Saku's time, but Rintaro encourages him, saying Saku does care about them and wants to experience the festival together. After hearing this, Shui wonders what happened to Rintaro. He gets up and tells him he's going to apologize to Saku and bring him back. After Shu leaves, Rintaro continues studying when two girls walk past looking for a seat. Like a Chad, he gets up and walks away, leaving the seats for them. They realize he did it for them, but it's too late to thank him. Then, as Rintaro is about to exit the library, he hears Karuko's name. He looks and sees her studying with her friend. He realizes she couldn't come to the shop because she was busy with exams. He watches them and quickly hides when he almost gets caught. He continues watching, pleased to see Karuko speaking informally, unlike when she's with him. Her friend praises her for being top of the class and Rintaro listens in awe, realizing how amazing she is. Later, Karuko appears, surprising Rintaro. She admits she saw him earlier and knew it was him. She apologizes for missing the cafe discount day, promising to come after saving from her job. It shocks Rintaro to learn she isn't rich but on scholarship, working hard to maintain her place. She vents about pulling all-nighters but says it's worth it because she's just a normal girl from a normal family. Rintaro realizes how unfairly he judged her and humbly asks her to teach him. She offers him food and promises to help when she has free time. Just then, Karuko's best friend Subaru appears with her silver hair and scary glare. She instantly clocks that Rintaro is from Chidori and orders him to stay away. Karuko tries to calm her but suddenly Shui and the others rush over, seeing him surrounded by Kikyo students. Things escalate and insults are thrown. But before it goes too far, Rintaro steps in and takes the blame, saying he was the one who approached Karuko. Shui then surprises everyone by sincerely apologizing to her. Karuko bows and apologizes back, showing her kindness while Subaru storms off. The boys are left conflicted but impressed by how genuine a Kikyo girl can be. And Saku, always the bold one, says he can't stand seeing his buddies getting verbally violated by some stupid chick. If you loved this anime story and want to know what happens next, drop a comment below and I'll make part 2 just for you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.